He's considered a Canadian prince and the son of Canada's most famous Prime Minister, Pierre Trudeau. And now Justin Trudeau has become a political force to reckon with. Our Leslie Roberts tonight takes you up close and personal with the man the Liberals love.
He has movie star looks, a magnetic personality, add the famous last name, and you have nothing less than political royalty in Canada. Justin Trudeau is following in his famous father's footsteps.
Hi. How are you, Justin?
Very good.
I used to know your dad.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I guess you get that a lot. I used to know your dad, or...
Yeah, you know, it's a nice opener in terms of the conversation. I was raised seeing how politics can make a difference.
And his were no ordinary parents. His father, Pierre Trudeau, was arguably the most famous prime minister in our history. Trudeau mania swept the nation.
Canada must be one, and Canada must be a just society.
His mom, Margaret, was thrust into the spotlight at the tender age of 22, marrying the world's most famous bachelor. It proved too much for the young bride, and she rebelled. Canadians watched as Margaret divorced her politically devoted husband. We also watched sons Justin, Sasha, and Michelle grow up at 24 Sussex. For Margaret, it was a struggle, so young in such an important public position. She blames undiagnosed bipolar disorder for her rebellious behavior. Now living a happy and balanced life, Margaret told me in an interview 3 years ago she had worried about Justin choosing a life in politics.
I certainly will warn him that for his family, it's a very stressful life for a family.
And suffer this political family has greatly in recent years. We watched the family mourn when Michelle Trudeau was killed at age 23 in an avalanche while skiing in BC.
Nothing in life will compare to the pain of losing a child.
Then came the loss of Pierre. Many Canadians shared the family's grief again. And it was at his father's funeral that we first saw Justin, the man.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep. He has kept his promises and earned his sleep. Je t'aime, Papa.
Justin moved everyone. A heartbroken son spoke for many. He connected with Canada that day, and almost immediately the Liberal Party came calling.
Did you ever talk about politics and that perhaps you'd go into politics with your dad?
You know, I tried at one point.
To bear this responsibility with all my strength and with all my energy.
I sort of said, well, okay, Dad, you know, if I do end up going into politics eventually, what should I sort of think of and, you know, go concrete tips? And he gave me an answer about being, you know, true to their values and looking for the long-term right. But it was a really awkward conversation because we both quickly realized that anything he had to give me as advice in politics, he'd already given me through my life.
His next goal is for the Liberal Party to win back Canadians soured by recent scandals.
Yes, yeah, a new leader will help things along. But we have to reorganize our grassroots fundraising, we have to reorganize our organizations on the ground, we have to reorganize the way we mobilize and make ourselves relevant to Canadians across the country.
But Justin refused to take handouts. He purposely chose a tough fight. The riding of Papineau is poor, ethnically diverse, and a separatist Montreal stronghold. He knew by winning over voters here, he could silence any doubters in Ottawa.
My challenge, I mean, everyone says the name Trudeau is a big advantage. Well, sometimes it's an advantage, sometimes it's a disadvantage. I need to make sure I'm working 3 times as hard as just about anyone else.
Despite a privileged upbringing, Justin says he's all about grassroots.
We have a government that, you know, refuses to address the fight against poverty, that really is looking at having, you know, no very minimal role of government in, you know, making people's lives better through social programs, through community programs and that kinds of thing.
The newbie politician looking like a seasoned pro, working the room at a luncheon for the Greek community. Despite the win, he's not taking anything or any vote for granted.
So has he won you over now? Has he won you over?
I hope one day, we're crossing our fingers, that he will become Prime Minister.
Do you want to be Prime Minister?
Listen, that's one of the questions that I love to hate, because politicians can't answer that question with a yes or a no, because if they say yes, they look ambitious and they look like their ego is driving them forward. If they say no, they look like either they're liars or they lack confidence in themselves and they lack ambition. We'll see.
So a new generation of Trudeau is in Parliament, and it looks like Mom couldn't be more proud. And with wife Sophie expecting their second child, could there be another generation one day going into the family business?
I'm incredibly privileged and humbled to be the focal point of that voice. But I am but one. Well, two of us right now.